Welcome to the second module of the first unit of climate change and adaptations as climatic system. Here we are going to discuss about the climate classifications. There are different classification systems available. The one we are going to most commonly utilize is Köppen's classification system. The classification was first published by Russian climatologist Vladimir Köppen in 1884. Although it was published in 1884, it wasn't complete until 1936 after several modifications by Köppen. To add several more modifications, climatologist Rudolf Geiger introduced several other changes that were needed. The two climatologists and their work is what gives the classification system the name Köppen-Geiger climatic classification. But for the sake of title and to give the credit to the creator, it is commonly known as the Köppen climate classifications. Here they provide a table where you can see that the 5 basic divisions in the Köppen's classification systems, and there is the second column which represents about the second alphabet, which refers more detail about this further sub classification, and third column become further details. It will be clear as we go further. So you can see that these are this entire global map, world map, in which we are showing that what is the A, what is B, what is C, what is D, and what is E. So we'll see all these 5 somewhat briefly and then little more details. A refers to tropical. Tropical means it is between the Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn. Is about the in middle of that is equator. So it's mostly equatorial climate. And B refers to dry. So out of A, B, C, D, E, A, C, D, E refers to the temperature and rainfall, but the B category refers to wet or dry. C is called temperate. Temperate means it is above the in the north, it is higher latitude than the tropic, and south it is lower latitude than the tropic of Capricorn, and in the north Tropic of Cancer. So they are called temperate climates. So you can see the green marks represented here. Then T is found only in northern hemisphere. It is mostly the great continental mass of North America or Russia. You can see on the top. So they are the continental because they are far away from the sea. Here we are because of the continentality is experienced very cold and winters. Then polar is the northern and southern poles of the planet, and in these areas it is cold all around the year, and sometimes it is completely frozen by the ice. So now the Köppen-Geiger codes, it has got many subdivisions. Each of the category further subdivided from A, B, C, D, E, and give more precise indication of the temperature and precipitation patterns, thus resulting in 2 or 3 letters Köppen-Geiger codes. We'll see how to decode this. We are considering 3 different codes from the Köppen-Geiger codes: CFB, CSA, CWC. In this, C is common. What is the meaning? It means it is a continental or temperate regions. Now coming back, the second alphabet, F, S, and W. Second alphabet usually indicate the dry season, when the dry season comes. So if the dry season is in the summer, it becomes S, so CS. If dry season is during the winter, then become W, CW. If dry season, there no dry season, it becomes F. So CS, CW, CF refers to continental, summer, winter, and no dry seasons. And then third alphabet represents to how hot or cold it is. For example, A means hottest and D is the coolest. Here A, B, C are used. So that means A is hot, C is A, so it is temperate, dry, hot climate, and CFB temperate, non-dry because F is there, but warm climate because B is there. And third one, CWC is temperate because C is there, and dry weather because W is there. Dry winter, maybe so W is there, and cool summer because C is there. The temperature decrease from A to D. A, B, C. C is the cooler. So this way, all these codes can be declassified. Now we'll try to see each of these categories given in the Köppen's codes somewhat briefly. First one is AF, tropical rainforest. Tropical rainforest, also called equatorial forest or selva, which is Spanish name for jungle. This occurs only at tropics, at lower elevations, and it is rain and hot temperature throughout the year. The famous rainforest has the biggest biodiversity in the earth. We have heard about the Amazon forest, and all the things comes under this tropical rainforest. Bottom right picture shows how the vegetation are multi-layered here. So there will be 3 different canopies will be there, top, middle, and because all of them will try to explore the sunlight and water. So those plants, bigger plants will take out the sunlight, and whatever gaps available, the middle layer, middle tiers of the plants will come, and whatever comes the ground, it will be covered by the shrubs and will be absorbing, and grasslands will be taking this sunlight. So this way it is optimized, the maximum productivities in the whole earth. Next is the tropical monsoon. So it is also found in the tropic, but it experiences heavy rains during the part or most part of the year. But it's not continuous, not every day like rainforest. Every day there is rainfall. It's not like that. It is some part or most part of the year it will be rain. It is also relatively short or longer drier seasons can be available depending upon the locations, because the shifting the trade winds and which comes from the sea towards the land, and vice versa because of that. So some sorts of monsoon here. Monsoon means what? The changing in the patterns of the rainfall. So rainfall comes northeast, again comes the southwest. So it returns back. So whenever the climatic patterns reverses over the period of time, it's called monsoon. So most common pronounced monsoon you find in India in tropical climates and also in Australia. So this is the tropical monsoon or AM. Then AW, tropical savanna. So tropical monsoon covers much larger area in the tropics. If the dry season is completely dry over a long period, both savanna and monsoon are mixed up in woodland and grasslands. So because rain is little lesser but temperature is higher, so because of that you will find that mostly grasslands and woodlands will be there. They don't have enough water to grow into the trees, not enough fertility in the soil to support that, because it will leached away by the occasional rainfall and sunlight, exfoliation by the sun. So this supports enormous population of many of these cities in combination of heat and rainfall. And you can see the right side of each of the picture I have showed a classical cities details and what is the temperature variation throughout the year, and bottom what is the rainfall variation throughout the year. And bottom, the center, I have kept the map which indicate that particular zones, and left side and right side some pictures have shown how it actually looked like. So you please go through it again, replay the video and try to observe each one. But I am just going to pass through somewhat fast. Then BWH, hot desert. So this is B category now. So B category, as you mentioned, is about the dry. So it's hot desert. Lying at the border of the tropics, these experience very little rain and the highest rainfall in the planet, highest temperature in the planet. So most of the deserts, Gobi Desert, Sahara Desert, most of the deserts belong to these categories. Little or no vegetation exists here, only bare rocks and sands are available here. You can see that this is near the tropic area, but this mostly it's not very elevated areas. It is a flat, more or less a flat land, and it is found mostly in US, Mexico, Sahara, and Asia we have got Thar deserts and Africa, Australia. So these are the places where you have this very very hot dry climate desert. Then it is semi-hot, okay, hot semi-arid we call. So these are very adjacent to the hot desert, because just adjacent of that will be somewhat little warmer climates, and little moisture will be there compared to the more moisture there compared to the hot deserts. So that's called semi-arid. These experience very little more rain compared to the central deserts, and support the scrubland vegetations. So deserts, hot deserts, you will find hardly any vegetations, but here you can find somewhat the shrubs, as you can see, the grasses and something, shrublands, thorny grasses. This may be available, but still marginal to support any sustainable settlement, because they know agriculture is possible in this area. So settlement is very difficult to sustain in this area. Mostly cactus and shrubs will be available in this. Then there is something called cool desert. So this here rainfall is very less here around, but and it also very hot, and also it has cold in winter time. So this is, as you can see, the temperature profile, that is both hot and cold both are experienced throughout the years, but rainfall is less. So lying deep in the continent, far from the ocean, most of these are not closer to ocean, they are far from the oceans, or is especially leeward, because like Western Ghat, when the rain comes from Arabian Sea, the rain comes in eastern side of the Western Ghat, and the western side of the Western Ghats. So the eastern side rain doesn't come, so the lee side of the mountain, so that shelters them. So rain shadow areas, so they will not get much of the rain. So it will be hot and it will be cold, but rain is less. So in this cases, vegetation also very limited or absent. Then BSK, cool semi-arid zones. It is like the cool desert, but with more rain, but not enough to be classified as temperate or continental. So it's also very difficult to sustain the livelihood on that. But it's hot like semi-arid, but some shrub vegetation and hardy grasses are there, and many of these grasslands are located in these areas. So that is, rainfall is low, as you can see the figure that it is very low and very less range, but there is rainfall, precipitations, and temperature keeps on varying, very hot temperature, very cold temperature. You can see the minus temperature also available. Then CFA, humid subtropical. It lies in similar latitude as the hot desert. These areas are toward the eastern frontiers of the continents. However, they experience tropical summer but cool winter and rain all around the year. These house enormous population in many cities. Natural vegetation ranges from forest to swamps to grasslands. Much of the areas has been given to farming areas. Then CWA, subtropical monsoons. Now I come to C now. These areas as winter, as you can see the figures, they are more toward the they are far away from tropical zones now. So mostly temperate zones. These areas are has winter dry, very dry due to the monsoon, and rain rest of the years. Here you can see distinct three seasons. So summer, winter and rainy both are available here. You can see North India also experiences the same thing, and Mexico. So there is this area is a typical three seasons type. So because in monsoon areas, but not necessarily tropical, it's only temperate type of monsoons. Then hot summer, Mediterranean. So Mediterranean, as the name indicates, it is the Mediterranean Sea. So it lies above the hot deserts of in latitudes. On the western side, most of them western side, you can see the picture, most of them western side of the continent. This area experience hot and dry in the desert in the summer, like a desert condition we will experience during summertime, and significant rain during the westerly rain which comes from ocean during the winter time. Natural vegetation very limited because irregular, because winter time in the rain there some plant vegetation will be there, but summertime is too hot like desert, so vegetation again die off. Then it is CSB, warm summer Mediterranean. So it lies at continental western coast, experience warm by dry summer and usually heavier rainfall in the winter. During less harsh summer, natural vegetation usually coniferous forest. You may be able to see that. And it also includes the redwoods of California, which is the tallest in the whole world. CWB and CWC, these two categories are subtropical highlands. Highlands mean mountainous zones. So it occurs in tropical latitude. The heat and rainfall of savanna is reduced because of the high altitude. It's located in similar location, but the high altitudes, most mountainous zones. So heat and rainfall problems what experienced in grasslands will not be there. So it has very low temperature and pronounced dry seasons like Latin America, East Africa and foothills of Himalayas. Natural vegetation is a mix of some type of forest, some type of grasses. CFB, it is oceanic. So as the name indicates, this is although actually this is one of the classification given by Köppen, which is mostly a confused class, mostly makes one confused, because here two distinct type of conditions are there, but similar type of landforms are available. Interestingly, in different seasons, for example, we will see these two different things. The one is Bogota, and next slide we will see London. In both of the places, are very different type of climate. Okay, very different type of climate, but both of them are exactly similar locations. They are all small upland areas near the equator, such as Colombia, and experience all around the year the rain. So as you can see that here Bogota, here the rainfall is almost, there are two peaks are there, and the temperature almost constant throughout the year, and typically 4 seasons are there, and vegetation mixed woodland. And exactly same thing you'll find bottom. You can see the pictures of that. Is that same thing you'll find next figure. It is also CFB or oceanic. It's London. Now you can see the temperatures keeps on varying. It is not equal. Rainfall is less, but it is almost constant. So both of them have similar type of vegetations, but climate pattern is different. That's why this classification has climate pattern different, but vegetation wise and position wise it's almost similar. So both classified as same thing, same categories. CFC, subpolar oceanic. It lies in some areas higher in altitude or elevations. These areas are warmer in winter but cool summer. So it's mostly called perpetual autumns, cool throughout the year. DFA and DFB, they are continental, temperate but continental. So these two types of continental units lie only in the great landmass of northern continents. You don't find southern hemisphere occurrence of this. All these places experience high temperature, rain between summer and winter, cold winters, routinely falling below freezing points. Both these zones experience rain throughout the year. DFA experiences hot summer and DAB somewhat cooler but still warm summer. Natural vegetations are usually grasslands in these areas. So prairie and steppe, these type of grasslands are mostly in these temperate zones or continental zones. Now DWA, DWB. So the same as DFA and DFB, the previous categories, except little or no rain in the winter. This is located exclusively in the eastern Asia due to the influence of Asian monsoons. The next is DSA and DSB, is continental dry summer. The same as other continental climate, but here the only variation is that summer is dry instead of winter is dry. In previous case winter dry, but here summer is dry. These areas are not common and usually occur in high altitudes areas in the Mediterranean climatic zones. DFC and DFD, these subarctic climates occur in the north and similar to the continental climate, except that the winter, because you are coming at D now, winter are much more cooler. The vegetation is dominated by coniferous forest. The famous Russian taiga is the best example of this climate. Then DWC, DWD, subarctic monsoons. They are similar to the previous two, except that it has dry winter. It occurs only in eastern Siberia. Most of the other locations you don't find that. DSC and DSD, the subarctic dry summer. It is similar to other subarctic regions, except that this dry season occurs in the summer times. You can see just in variations of these dry and wet seasons, the name keeps changing. But most rest of the parameters are more similar. And vegetation is very close to each other. And the taiga is, boreal forest or taiga is mostly occurs in these zones. Then comes to last classification, E. And E classification has two things, one is tundra and other is polar. Ice caps. So tundra ET, it is further north to the subarctic zones. These are the polar zones with very low summer temperature and permanently frozen soil just below the surface. It's permanently frozen, so also called permafrost, just below the sea. Only very hardy grasses or shrubs survive here. Tundra also occurs in small alpine areas or between the South America and Antarctica, in hilly areas. It also similar tundra environment look at in highlands. Then coming over to last of the Köppen's classifications, that is EF or ice cap. Here it is below the freezing point all around the year, produces ice sheets several kilometers thick and occurs in Greenland and Antarctica. So Greenland in north, Antarctica in south. And in Greenland you can see the right side of the picture, bottom pictures, the polar bear and all things are available, and left side of the bottom picture, leftmost side, you can see the penguins. So they are the polar climates which round the year it is ice, and nothing can grow in these harshest conditions. And coming back, if we look at this classification system in India, this is how it divides. You can see the different parts: AM, AW, BWH, BWK, BSH, CWA, CWB, all the classifications. So you can yourself go back and refer to this climatic zones classification and descriptions and see India, how it located and how does it affect our lifestyles, how does it affect our agricultural activities in such zones because of the climatic influences. Thank you.